Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Work on Workplace Relations with Aastha, our Sunday evening, 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time show. And looking forward for all of you to joining in. So we are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, all three together. So work on workplace relations with Aastha is all about looking at, reflecting upon the workplace relationships that you hold. And I'm sure you will agree, workplace relationships, I always talk about it, workplace relationships are very, 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 very critical. Those of you, whatever profession you are into, you're an entrepreneur, you're a corporate executive, you're a business owner, जिस भी profession में आप हैं, as a leader, in your own capacity, you know the importance of having those relationships. How it is so critical. और उसके root पे क्या है, core पे क्या है, आपका relationship आपके खुद के साथ. And we've talked about it quite a few times. Today, again, we are going to be talking about yet another aspect in the Survive or Thrive series. So before we move on, welcome those of you who've joined in live. It'll be great if you could drop in a hi, because I can't see who's live. There are 3 platforms, and all I can see is X number of people live. So I would love for you to drop in a hi with your name so that I can welcome you. And also, if there is any experience that you had as we talk, any experience, any question, anything that comes to your mind, please put it in the chat box. Would love to have a dialogue rather than just me talking. Great. So quickly, for those of you who are watching me for the first time, I'll quickly introduce myself. Hi, I'm Aastha Tatia, daughter of 2 rock-solid pillars, mother to a lovely daughter, wife of a humor king, an engineer, MBA, corporate executive turned anchor person, now an author and a happiness coach, helping corporate leaders build deep connects and meaningful relationships in their organizations. Yeah. So that's about me. And today we will be talking about picking up from the last Sunday live that we did, which was more about, we spoke about the wheel of life. Yeah. We had drawn an analogy with a cart wheel, and we said, just like the different spokes of a cart wheel, each spoke, the health of each spoke, the quality of each spoke determines how well the cart wheel is going to function, and hence how effective your cart is going to be. Similarly, the wheel of your life, which includes all the different areas of your life. It could be your relationships, it could be your fun element, it could be your finances, could be your vacations, the fun part, entertainment, could be children, could be spouse, could be spirituality. All different areas are how well are they functioning? How much are they in sync, in harmony? Because one area doing well, 2 areas doing well, but another 2 areas not doing well. There's a challenge there, and that has an impact on the entire wheel. That has an impact on you as an individual, because you're not different. You cannot be saying that, okay, this area is good, so I'm happy, but this one is not as good. It will have an impact on your other areas also, and that's what we spoke about the last time. And I hope you would have reflected upon, and you would have really thought about which are those areas in your life that are not functioning to the highest potential, to the highest capacity, or the way you would desire them to function. Yeah. So if you've if you've looked at it, if you've given it a thought, then picking up from there, what really holds you back? And again, I come to this book of mine, Survive or Thrive. All of these live sessions that I'm doing are essentially about a choice to either survive or no, I'm not going to be surviving. I want to thrive. So making that choice, it's okay. I have been surviving so far, but now I choose to thrive. And when I make that choice of thriving, then there are so many different things that I need to look at. And that's the attempt in every live session to look at it, right? So last time, like I said, we spoke about the wheel of life, and we also said that, you know, in your organization, when you want to lead, this is just a little bit of brushing up that I'm doing so that we are able to relate the things. You want to lead your people, you want to lead them well, yeah, you want to impact their lives, but the whole point was, how are you leading yourself? Because the way you're leading yourself is the way you're going to lead people outside. So if at all you need to look somewhere, it is self-leadership. How are you leading yourself? Right? Now, would you want to know what goes on behind the scenes? That was the question I had asked last time. So, you know, if it was that plain and simple, whatever I spoke about, if it were that plain and simple, then what stops you from doing the work? Why can you not do as you like, take actions and get desired results? What are you supposed to do with all this awareness? You've gotten the awareness, this area doesn't function as well, this is where the challenge is, this is where I'm stuck. What do you do with all that awareness? Yeah. So now today we will be diving a little deeper into what holds you back. Yeah. So once again, a very warm welcome to those of you who have joined in live. We are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Hi, Pooja. Thank you for joining in live. So that's my sister. Great. So thank you all of you for joining in live. I would love to have you drop in a hi so that I get to know who's there, and I would love to welcome you. So yes, like I said, we will be talking about what holds you back. Once you've identified what is not working, which is the area of your life that is holding you back. Hi, Mishi. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for a hi. Great. So I'm going to pick up some, content from the book. I'm going to read out and then talk also from my experiences, and would love to hear from you. So do share, would be great, like I said, to have a dialogue instead of just me talking. Okay, so what is it that is really holding you back? You've identified the areas that are not doing well. Now, why can't you do the work? If it was that simple, if you know it all, why can't you really go ahead and take the actions that are needed? That's where we need to dive into the design of our brain. And that's what I want to briefly talk about today. Yeah. So at a broader level, there are two parts of the brain. One is your conscious brain, the prefrontal cortex, which is about 5%. And the other is subconscious brain, which is 95%. So these are broader level. Of course, there are a lot of different parts, but for our understanding, this is what we need, right? Now, the PFC is only about 5% and is used for all the analysis, creativity, planning, solutioning, processing, all of it. Right now, if you're there listening to me, you're completely with me, then you're using your PFC, your prefrontal cortex. Okay, it's just behind your forehead, 1/4 of an inch thick layer, which is your PFC. If you're present in this moment, like completely here, then you're using your PFC. The other part, which is your subconscious, which is the 95%, is where all your habits, all your emotions, everything is stored. And if you see every day, where are you really operating from? Are you operating from subconscious or your PFC, the conscious brain? We'll use the term conscious and subconscious. So आप कहाँ से operate कर रहे हो? Conscious से, like right now also, when you are with me, you may be physically there, sitting, watching me, but if you are not in this moment, you've gone somewhere else, I said something and you are reminded of some instance and you've gone there, then actually you are in your subconscious. So if you see every day, all the activities that we are doing, most of them, you wake up in the morning, right, from the same side of the bed, that's what it is. Every day from the time you wake up until you end your day, you running a set of patterns, waking up at the same time, getting out of the same side of the bed, wearing your slippers, going to the washroom, brushing your teeth, using the same hand, having the same tea or coffee, and then grabbing your phone and checking your mail, so on and so forth. Same set of activities that you are repeating. Yeah. So it's all stored in there. You've gotten so used to this routine that it all happens subconsciously. Yeah. For me, at times, when applying body lotion, something as basic as that, I wonder whether I've applied the lotion to the other hand or not. I'm just wondering, did I do this? Did I do that? Did I switch on that light? Because it is happening subconsciously. It's become so mechanical. You're doing it every day. You go and do it, and you even forget whether I did it or not. When driving home and busy on a call, I just take the route to home subconsciously. I'm sure you're seeing this happening in your lives also. If you can relate to this, if you see this happening in your life, then please put in a yes there. Okay, Mishi says, mostly in my subconscious, probably losing my goals. Okay, we'll talk about that, Mishi. I'm sure you'll get some insight here. Now, that's what the brain strives to do. Because your PFC, the conscious brain, the prefrontal cortex is very, very limited. It's just 5%. And it is very, very fussy. बहुत जिद्दी है वो, right? And every time you use your PFC, it consumes a lot of energy, lot of glucose. It needs a lot of oxygen. And that is why when you have focused a lot, you'll see a day when you've had a lot of meetings, or a day when you've browsed through a lot of reports, you've put in a lot of focus, you feel drained out because you have used your conscious brain, and conscious brain consumes all the oxygen, all the glucose, leaving you tired. Yeah. Okay, so since PFC is limited and fussy, it gets distracted easily, it consumes a lot of energy and oxygen, the brain doesn't want to use this part as much and hence diverts to the subconscious. It tries to form a pattern out of every act or task, everything you see or feel or hear, so that it can be stored in the subconscious. And all the subconscious does is run and rerun those patterns. So that's the whole game of your brain, basically. Yeah, everything that you are doing, once you've done the task, the first time you do it, you are putting in your conscious brain. आप अपना ब्रेन PFC कॉन्शियस ब्रेन यूज कर रहे हो बिकॉज आपको पूरा फोकस वहां करना है. जब पहली बार गाड़ी चलाई तो योर फोकस वाज ऑन, okay, I need to switch on, then I have, this is the clutch, this is the brake, this is accelerator, this is the rear view mirror, these are the side mirrors, the side view mirrors, I need to focus on this. Oh, then I have to apply the brake also. Everything, your whole focus was right there, isn't it? The next time you drove it, okay, you were feeling a little better. The third time, fourth time, now when you're driving, you don't even know how it is happening. You are using the steering wheel also, clutch, brake, accelerator, and you're chatting with the person sitting right next to you. Maybe you're sipping your drink, coffee, whatever. It's happening subconsciously because every task that you do, your brain strives to send it to subconscious. Yeah, so that it is stored there. You don't have to apply your conscious brain every time. You don't want to get drained out. You don't want to use so much energy. So it goes here. And that is why you're just driving and driving and driving, and it just happens on its own. Now, how many of the things in life are happening in the same way where you are running those patterns? What is a pattern? Pattern is basically all these neurons coming together and forming a neural pathway. तो जिसको हम पैटर्न बोलते हैं, I'm using the word belief and pattern interchangeably at times in the videos when I talk to you. But every pattern that is formed and is stored in your subconscious, right? And then all the brain needs to do is retrieve it. All the brain needs to do is pick up which pattern do I need to run, and it just happens. Right? So same way, you've had some experience at your workplace. Yeah, let's say your boss shouted at you, or you've had a very, very bad experience with your boss, right? Another thing about the brain is it is quick to form meanings, interpretations. It's an interpretation making machine. So your boss shouted at you and you were quick to add a meaning to it. Maybe about the boss also, maybe about yourself. Oh, I'm not good enough. Maybe I didn't do it well. What is it that I'm missing? I really need to do it better. Or this boss is so arrogant. He just doesn't care. All bosses are like that, right? I cannot speak in front of him because then he's going to impact my appraisals. He's going to impact my ranking. He's the boss. Should I talk to him? Should I not talk to him? What do I do? All those things happen. You add a meaning. Boss shouting is equal to something for you. Like I shared, for me, not being able to answer in the class when I was in grade 2 and everybody laughing at me, giving a wrong answer, everybody laughing at me, I made a belief, I'm not good enough. I am not good enough. That was the meaning I attached to it. And then once that pattern is formed, you will find 10,000 triggers, 10,000 instances to reinforce it. Every time your boss appears, you will look at him through the lens, which is this filter, which is this pattern. Every time I got an opportunity to speak up, I was hesitant because I would again run the pattern, I'm not good enough. No. I will not answer unless I'm sure that I am not good enough, and that constantly striving to prove myself was playing so hugely on my mind. Yeah. So that's how your brain strives to push everything to the subconscious so that it can pull out the relevant one as and when needed. Now let's understand the scope and impact of these patterns. Every result that you've created or desire to create is an outcome of your actions and behaviors. Unless you act, the result cannot be achieved. Your actions are impacted by your thoughts. So you want a certain result, you have to take action. If you're not taking action, no result can be achieved. I'm sure you'll all agree with this. Now, where are those actions coming from? Those behaviors coming from? From your thoughts. Yeah. Any action that you take first occurs in your brain. First, it happens here, and then you do it out there physically, even if it is lifting a chair. So first it comes to your mind, okay, I need to lift this chair from here, put it there. And then you go ahead and do that, right? Once you run it in your thought, do you actually go ahead and act on it? So thoughts are behind your actions. Now, the big question is, where do these thoughts come from? You get 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. Every human being. This is what the neuroscientists say. So where are they coming from? The thoughts come from your core, your deep-rooted beliefs. What is a belief now? Something happened in life and you attached a meaning to it, and a belief is formed. Okay, so maybe, like I said, your boss once shouted at you and you formed a belief that this is how he is. He is an arrogant man. He absolutely doesn't understand. He wants things his way. Okay, like I said, for me, somewhere the whole belief was, I'm not good enough about me. So we keep forming those beliefs about everybody around us, every person. It's whether it's your spouse, it's your children, it's your parents, it's your professional colleagues, it's your subordinates, it's your boss, your clients. Every person that you meet, you are judging him or her, and you're forming those beliefs. We've been doing that right from our childhood, and we continue to do that even now. So not just people, beliefs about circumstances, about life, anything, you name it and you have a belief there, right? Now, that's how you now see or perceive a similar situation or scenario or person. So something happened in life, you attached a meaning to it, and a belief is formed. And that's how you are now seeing or perceiving a similar situation or scenario or a person. So, for example, you may have thought that somebody who shouts is has a very high ego, for example, right? So somebody who shouts doesn't want to listen to anybody. He thinks he knows it all and he wants things to happen his way. Now, every time you see somebody shouting, maybe that pattern of yours gets triggered. And your behavior and response to it is going to be the same that was there the first time when your boss shouted at you. So maybe you gave it back to him. Maybe you just froze, you didn't know what to say, or maybe you just wanted to run away from that place. Typical threat responses, right? You had a certain way of responding to that. And now every time you get that trigger, that belief is activated, that pattern is activated, you run that pattern again, and you respond in the same way. Now, those responses are different for different people because no two brains are same. The design of the brain is same, but because our experiences are different, our beliefs are different, our patterns are different, basis our upbringing, our experiences, what meanings we've attached to them. Same situation, different people attach different meanings. For me, I was not able to answer and I associated it with insult. I'm not good enough. For somebody else, it was like, big deal, I wasn't able to answer. Next time I'll answer. For somebody else, it was like, how can everybody laugh? They are so mean. I mean, different perspectives of looking at the same situation. And that's how we have different belief systems. That's how, in the same situation, people behave differently. There is a disaster, somebody will panic, somebody will be calm, composed. Right? So that's your conditioning, that's the beliefs that we are carrying and that they are at play. So your brain is an interpretation making machine. That's what I mentioned. Now that's where you operate from. And by the way, these beliefs are so deep rooted that they are as good as reality or the truth for you. My belief is my husband is selfish. My husband is selfish, and it was as good as reality for me. Because something happened and the meaning I attached to it, the belief that I formed was, look how selfish he is. He just wants, his stuff to be taken care of. He doesn't even acknowledge me, right? That was my belief, or was that reality? Whether it is the truth or is it my belief? Now that's the question you need to really ask yourself. Every area, every belief. I just shared my grade 2 example. Right? So, when I'll link it to this husband example again, but going back to that class 2, grade 2, when I wasn't able to answer and the entire class started to laugh, I answered wrong. The meaning that I attached was, I'm not good enough. A new belief was formed. And this was the interpretation I had made of the situation. It was a small seed sown. That was the first time. It was very, very small. I wouldn't say it was like a big, big pattern. It was just a very small thing. Something happened, I'm not good enough. Every time I ran and re-ran that same pattern, it grew bigger and bigger and stronger. The funny part, my brain found more and more instances to validate and reinforce the belief that I am not good enough. And what was the impact? Something that started with a seemingly trivial classroom incident had a massive impact on my overall expression, participation, my self-respect, my self-esteem, confidence. And hence, my need to live up to a certain self image that I spoke about in the last session. I spoke about that all my life, I was only striving to live up to an image of Aastha that I had created. And my only attempt was to prove that I'm good enough. How can anybody get to know I'm not good enough? So, something which started as something so small in my childhood has had such a massive impact. It took a toll on my expression, on everything. And that's what I want to let you know. Any area of your life, any area of your life, hear this out carefully, that is not doing well, not doing as well as you would want it to, because well is again a very subjective term. We have our own definitions. It is not doing the way you want it to. You don't have desired results in that area. You need to look at what are your beliefs in that area. Number one, when I say beliefs, what are the patterns that you are running? You need to identify. And how do you identify that? Every time in that area. So, for example, my husband is selfish. One of my beliefs, my husband is selfish, right? Every time I would meet my husband, every time. So, one is the belief that I formed. Second, how do I run it, rerun it, keep running it till it becomes very, very strong? Now, you will ask, why do I run that belief only? I mean, there are a lot of times when I think about, no, my husband is so helpful. He's done that also. I have those thoughts as well. But why is it that the belief about him being selfish only grows stronger? It's because our brains are designed for survival. That's not something that you are doing. It is your brain at play. Inherently, by design, our brains are, they look for threats. They will only look for negative. And that is why we are quick to notice something negative in any person, negative anywhere, more than the positives. 10 times the other person would have acknowledged you, shown you the love, but twice he will not do it. Once he won't do it, and you're going to remember that. Right? That's how our brains play. So if you say, I'm a very negative person, well, it's not by choice. It's just that's the design of the brain. And then you have yet another breed of people. You say, oh, he's got such positive vibes, love being near him. He or she also has the same design. They also get into that negative loop. They also see the negatives, the threats. It's just that they've understood the design of the brain, and they are now leading the brain. They're not at the mercy of the brain. They are training the brain to look at and to act the way they want. That's the only difference. The design is no different. Yeah. So coming back to this, I think I was talking about, the I am not good enough. So that's how something starts with this small thing and it grows bigger. You keep running that pattern again and again because your brain focuses on negative, on threat. What is the threat? What is the threat? What is the threat? Brain scans the environment for threats. How frequently? 3 to 5 times in a second. That's what neuroscientists say. In 1 second, your brain scans the environment 3 to 5 times for a threat. Imagine. And if you're looking for threat, if you're only looking for negative, what are you going to find? Negative. And why does this happen? I'm going to come to that also, because the brain is, the design of the brain hasn't changed over millions, billions of years. When we used to live in the caves, survival was actually the agenda. Survival and only survival was the agenda. Because the moment you stepped out of the cave, there was threat to life. There were animals, wild animals there was war, there was famine, so many things. And the human being, the only agenda was, how do I survive? How do I manage all of these things? So it made all the sense that brain was constantly looking for threat. Now, all these years later, there are no threats to life anymore. Like, actually, if you tell me, do you have a wild animal the moment you step out of house? Do you have a tiger there? Do you have a snake there? You don't. So those life threats are not there anymore, but the design of the brain hasn't changed. It is still looking for threats. And it is still only looking at surviving. Its only aim is to make you safe, to keep you safe. And safety for brain is whatever your beliefs are, nothing should happen to them. It won't allow you, it won't let you change those beliefs. It becomes so strong. I am not good enough is for my brain, it is a part of me. So even when I try to do the work and see that, oh, I'm not good enough is not reality, there'll be so much resistance and I will keep going back to that. I'll keep running, rerunning, slightest thing that will happen outside. Somebody questions me, gives a little bit of criticism, and quickly that pattern will come up. I'm not good enough. I don't think I have it in me. Still happens. Despite all the work done, I've come a long way, it still happens. It just comes and stands in front of me. Yes, there's been an impact, and I'm going to talk about it, what's the work and how I've been able to manage it, what's the shift, but that's how it is, right? So in your life also, coming back to the wheel of life, the area which is not doing well, what are the beliefs in that area, number one? And number two, are those, those beliefs by definition, like we said, we attach a meaning to it and that becomes reality for us. That's how we look at it. That's how we perceive it. Is it reality? My husband is selfish. Is that reality? How do I check that? Well, couple of things, couple of tests. Number one, is there no exception to his selfishness? Okay, got it. He's been selfish on this occasion, on this occasion, on this occasion. But has there never ever been an instance where he's not been selfish and maybe he's been selfless, or he's done things for me, gone out of his way? When I asked this myself, I said there are a lot of such instances, lot of them. So then what is the truth? Is he selfless or is he selfish? Which one is the truth? For me, of course, selfish is the filter, is the pattern. When I run it, rerun it, keep running it, it becomes so big that all those positive patterns, the forwarding patterns, become so insignificant. And every time I look at my husband, my brain, sends me to the subconscious and it picks one pattern to run. Now, which pattern will it pick? The one which is the biggest, the strongest. And which is that? My husband is selfish. And again, I look at him, maybe I'll tell him, he's going to just operate from what he wants. Better not to tell him. Or let me just quickly do away with this, get this done. Because he's going to operate from there. Just look at the way this whole game is happening. And I'm looking at him from there and acting. What do you think my behavior is going to be? Do you think I'm going to go there, give in my 100%, talk to him with full attention, everything there? Back of the mind, he's selfish. Anything he will say, how will I perceive it? He doesn't want me to do this, no. That's why he's saying this. That's the only way I'm going to look at him from. And if I am operating from that belief, what are going to be my actions? My actions would be, maybe I'll shout at him. Maybe I'll get up and walk away. These are things that I've done. That's why I'm telling you. I would just leave. I would tell him, oh, this is how you always do. You just don't care. You want things your way. And I will just walk away without making an effort to understand what is he going through, what is he feeling. But the belief is at play. That pattern is at play. And when that pattern plays, it is so massive, so strong, it grips you completely because it is as good as reality. Now, of course, this is a whole work that is done basically over a period of maybe 3 months, because while it may seem very simple, it's no rocket science actually. It's basic neuroscience. You understand the design of the brain, and once you understand the design, you can really do something about it, right? But it's not as easy, because the brain is so powerful, the patterns are so strong that even after I got it that this is not the truth, There have been so many instances where he's not been selfish. Then the other check is, every other person who knows him, does he say that he's selfish? Every other person who knows my husband, do all of them have to say that he's selfish? Do all of them feel that he's selfish? Well, that was absolutely not the case. I really couldn't find anybody else who said that except me. That is how you question your beliefs. These are two instances that I've just shared with you, how you can question your belief. But you question your belief, and when you question your belief, you will get an answer. Because truth, reality, how do we define truth and reality? That is also important. If it is true, then it has to be true in 100% of the cases, right? Because if it's sun, everybody will say, oh, there's a sun in the sky. Everybody will say it's a moon in the sky, right? So that's a fact, right? This is a book. Everybody would say that, right? But if even one person stands up and says, no, this is not what it is, then it needs consideration. Then it's not a fact, right? Then what are they? I'm saying he's selfish. Somebody says, oh, he's amazing. Somebody says, oh, he's very, very arrogant. What are all of these? These are beliefs. Maybe on a more, I would say, not as deep, if I just go a little broader, perspectives. Something happened and I have a certain perspective that grows into a pattern, becomes very, very deep, becomes a belief, becomes a filter, becomes a lens for me to look at him. But is it reality? No, it's not. That's not the truth. So what is reality then? Is the reality he's selfless? Who knows? So there's nothing right or wrong. There is nothing good or bad, really. When we say this particular action is bad, says who? That's your perspective. Right? There could be another person who says, no, this is amazing, absolutely right. This is how you're supposed to do. Which one is correct? So unless it is a universal fact, everything else is just a perspective. If you can only get aware, if only you can bring in that awareness that this particular area, which is not doing well, it could be your relationships, personal, professional, it could be your health, it could be your work-life balance. It could be your maybe the fun entertainment part. You're like absolutely burnt out. Whole day I'm in work. There's no fun, no entertainment. It could be your spirituality. It could be your finances. Whichever area it is, pick up one area and look at what are those beliefs that you have. Money is bad. Money makes people selfish. Subconsciously, you may not even be aware, but that's the pattern you're running. You saw something happening. Basically, they start with some instance. Something happened once and you've associated a meaning, and that's where it started. Now, if you're able to figure out where it started, fine, but that's not really important because that's past. That has already happened. What is important is, this is the belief, identifying the belief that you're running today. This is the belief. This is what I'm running. This is the pattern through which I'm looking at this particular area. And whatever is the belief, you will get thoughts in sync with it. If my belief is, I am not good enough, then what do you think my actions are going to be? My thoughts are going to be. My beliefs give me my thoughts. My thoughts will be, I have to prove that I'm good. Okay? Or, are these people thinking good about me? They are thinking high about me. How are they perceiving me? They must think Aastha is wow. Those are the thoughts I'm going to get because the belief is I'm not good enough. Now, since the thoughts that are coming are, how are they perceiving me? Are they thinking good about me, high about me? Let me not speak unless I'm sure, because whatever I speak must appear intelligent enough. I will not speak unless I am very, very sure, right? Now, what are my actions going to be? Because my thoughts then impact my action. What are my actions going to be? And this has happened. I think I've shared in so many videos in my office, on so many platforms. I would not speak. Meeting happened even until 2 years back. We would be sitting in a meeting. I would have all the ideas. I would want to share. I would just keep quiet for the entire meeting because I thought, will this sound good? Is it intelligent enough? How are they going to perceive me? Look at the actions and behaviors. I would just sit there quietly. And then what do you think are the results? Meeting ends, I walk out. Do you think people out there are really thinking high of me? Do you think they will walk up to me for an opinion? They used to say, oh, Aastha is too sweet, you know. My expression had gone for a toss completely. Only because of my beliefs. Nobody responsible. We blame everybody outside. We blame every instance outside. What is at play? What is impacting? What is it that needs to be addressed is all here. It's only the beliefs that I am carrying. And if I do the work on those beliefs, I am able to address the limiting beliefs, because there are beliefs which are forwarding also, which are actually moving you ahead. They are good. Not all beliefs are bad. And bad again in the sense that they are limiting you. But those beliefs which are limiting you, they are causing all the havoc. So areas where and this is a tendency, we do not take responsibility for whatever is happening in our life, and we are quick to blame. We want to blame because that way we don't have to take the responsibility. Oh, this is just not happening. My team is not doing it. What do I do? I think I need a change there. Yeah. Or my boss is like this. What do I do? Oh, the relationship is struggling. What do I do? My wife, she's like that. How can somebody live with her? So what is the belief system that you are carrying? Number one. And number two, are you even willing to take the responsibility? And by responsibility, I don't mean that whatever is happening is your responsibility. By responsibility, I mean responsibility. Now, this is yet another conversation that I'm bringing in. I didn't intend to do it today, but then I think it's important. Response plus ability. Do you have the ability to respond? Whatever is happening around you, do you have the ability to respond? Can you do something about it? I can guarantee you ask this question to yourself in any area of your life, any area, not just your life, anything that's happening in the world. If I tell you, are you responsible for COVID? The answer is yes. Tell me if it's a no. Responsible. COVID has happened. That is not your responsibility. It may have happened, right? Whatever be the reason. Now, do you have the ability to respond? Yes. I can play my role by wearing the mask, not stepping out unless it is necessary, using the sanitizer, maintaining the hygiene, taking care of the norms, following the rules, all of those things, right? Maybe educating people around, those who don't understand much, those who are flouting the norms, things like those. That's the way I can respond to it. But I have the ability to respond? Yes, I have. So I'm talking about what if you stop blaming and you take that responsibility, that it's okay, whatever is happening around me, the other person is abusive, the other person is behaving in a certain manner, the circumstances are such, everything is fine, this is how it is happening. Now, in the most difficult of the circumstances, with the most difficult people, do I have the ability to respond? Can I do something about it? So what is the answer that you get? So every area in your life that is not working the way you want, the results are not that you desire, you need to check, number one, what belief system is running you? What are the beliefs that are governing you? Number one. And so, whatever the beliefs are, those are the results, because your beliefs give you your thoughts give you your actions give you results. So, if I want different results, usually we just focus on actions. Tell me what actions should I take so that results change. What should I do so my results change? But the fact is, why don't we have those long term results? Because we only limit ourselves to the actions. The core, the source is not addressed, which is beliefs. If my beliefs continue, if my belief is still I'm not good enough, now I may take a different action. No, I'm going to speak in the meeting, and I stand up to speak. But back of the head, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. If that's where I'm coming from, then do you think I'm going to speak what I want? I'm going to give in my 100%. How many times you've experienced that you have the best of the preparation, but for anything, and out there, when you go there, you're not able to perform as well. Whatever it is, it could be some household chore, it could be some debate, it could be some public speaking, some presentation that you have to make, some conversation that you have to do with somebody, or anything which doesn't turn out the way you wanted to. Just check what is the belief that you're running here. That gives you your state of mind. And if I'm not in that state of mind, my peak state of mind, which kind of just gets me going, how will I ever get that action and then the result? So you need to check your belief, number one. Number two, I just spoke about responsibility. Stop blaming others. And by the way, when I'm saying all of this, it is not an on-off switch where you say, okay, responsibility switch on. So from tomorrow, I've understood, and from tomorrow, I'm going to take the I'm going to be aware of my ability to respond. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately, because your brain, though, it's hardwired, those patterns, you'll keep going back to those limiting patterns, limiting beliefs. It takes a lot of practice, because it has taken us a lot of practice to build or to create these beliefs also. I am not good enough started in my childhood. Imagine the number of years I have invested, emotion that has gone into it. I've lived and relived it. It is so strong in here. It cannot vanish. It's going to stay there. But the only difference of doing the work that needs to be done is that earlier, when I am not good enough would hit me, would strike, I was completely shattered. I was like 2 days, 3 days, sometimes a week, I would be unsettled, I will be disempowered, not knowing what to do, how to bounce back. Today, it is when I am not good enough suddenly comes, I get into action. It still comes back, but now I have the awareness to snap out of it. And that's the work I'm talking about. It won't vanish anywhere, but yes, I can make it, by creating newer patterns, more the forwarding patterns. I can make this limiting one very, very insignificant. Because these beliefs are created by me. These limiting beliefs, my husband is selfish, boss is like that, I am not good enough. Who gave me these beliefs? I only picked them, no? You have a different brain, basis your hardwiring, basis the experiences that you've had, the conditioning that you've had, the upbringing that you've had, the people around you, what you've heard, basis that you have your patterns. Whatever your patterns are, accordingly, you form those patterns basis your experiences, your conditioning. I have formed my patterns basis my conditioning. So, running those, rerunning those, I've come a certain distance. Now I create newer patterns, different ones, what I really want my results to be, basis that I create a newer belief, a forwarding belief. And now I run it again and again. Every time I go back to I'm not good enough, I bring in my newly created, inspiring, forwarding belief to replace it. and I run that in my mind. And then it's a different action that I am into. So this work obviously needs time. It needs practice. Yeah, but I hope you have been able to get an idea about how the brain functions and why you are doing what you're doing. You're coming from your beliefs. The way you behave, the way you act is all an outcome of your belief system. And therefore, the area that you are stuck in, it's only because the beliefs that you're carrying here. If your finances are not working, you need to check what are the beliefs you're carrying about money. What are the beliefs you carry about life? If you have a struggle with time management, what are the beliefs you're carrying about time? It all boils down to your belief system, and that is what holds you back. That is what holds you back. Yep. So I think there's more on threat, and this is all part of the book, the chapter 3, where I'm talking about all the mind games. It talks at length about the brain, the design of the brain, and how more at length about the threat. How do we respond to the threat? So if you've not got the book yet, go ahead, order it. It's available on Amazon. And all I want to share with you is, thanks, Mishi. Thank you for saying. I'm glad if you could get even one insight. Really, really means a lot. That's the idea of these live sessions, so that I could really, really help you with more on thriving. Because we are all surviving by default. That's what we are doing. That's what our brains are designed to do. And so this also gives another important point. Stop beating yourself. Stop killing yourself. Somebody says, no, wo kitna ajeeb sa ladka hai. He's such a bad boy. Oh, look at him. He doesn't even have the basic courtesy. This is what he... Understand, people are only operating out of their belief system. Nothing else. At the core, we all want love. We all want to be happy. We all want freedom. You ask anybody, even a beggar on the road, or you ask the prime minister of a country, they all want love, all want happiness, all want freedom to express. Everybody wants respect. Give me one exception, any part of the world, somebody who would say, no, I don't want all of this. Any exception, do you think? None of them. Nobody. You get me one single person who says, I don't want this. We all want the same stuff at the core. Then why is it that, we are at loggerheads? Why is it that suddenly there is such a huge difference in opinion, in needs, in desires? It's only because on that core, there are layers of beliefs. Every day we are forming newer beliefs. Every day. There are millions of patterns out here. So on that core, there are layers and layers and layers of beliefs. And when I'm meeting anybody, actually the cores are not even meeting. It's a clash between those beliefs. My belief and your belief. And then that's what's meeting, because core is inside, hidden inside. And therefore, there's a clash, because this is my belief, this is your belief. I can't leave my belief because that's my reality. It's so close to me. For my brain, my belief and me, we are one. So brain will not let you leave that belief. When you do the work, you'll get so much of resistance from the brain. You'll keep going back to you build that momentum. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. 2 days later, you'll be like, oh God, I've quit. You go to the gym 1 week and then you quit. Why does that happen? Any other task. That's because your brain, I'm going to take that conversation up in some other session for sure. How does it happen chemically inside your body, where you get back to the old behavior? You start something new and then you go back to the old behavior. Your brain gets you into doing it. So there's no problem with you as an individual. Stop blaming yourself, stop punishing yourself, stop saying, मेरे साथ ही कुछ problem है, मैं नहीं कर सकता. It's not you, it's just the beliefs that you are operating from. The other person is not good or bad, he or she is operating from his beliefs. The third person is operating from his or her beliefs. Your spouse, your kids, your boss, they are all operating from their respective belief systems. And consider they are not even aware. At the core, remember, they all want love, respect, happiness, freedom. We all want that. But that belief is so strong, that's where you operate from. Yeah. So if you want to turn around any area in your life that's not working the way you want it to, this is the work that needs to be done. Identifying those beliefs that are limiting you, looking at them, whether they're the truth or whether it's just a belief that I made up, cooked up. And if I can create this, then I can create something else as well. So what do I want to create which inspires me? What do I want to create which forwards me, not holds me back, not pulls me down, not disempowers me? What is it that will empower me, will push me forward, and will help me create different results in the area that I want? Okay, Mishi, it's true, experiencing this in the moment, not talking to one of my oldest friend, neither she nor me, taking an initiative to take the first step. Probably it's my mind that's stopping me. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Mishi, first of all. It takes a lot of courage to share from your personal life. Thank you for showing that vulnerability. So, Mishi, if you want to share, what is the belief that you're carrying for her? Have you been able to see? Forget what she's doing, what she's done. Talk only about you. Because see, the fact is, the only thing which is in my control is me, my behavior. Outside people, are they in your control? You may keep trying, you may keep blaming, we all want, wo badal jaye to bas. Only if this could change, wow. Cannot happen. So let's put that aside. Let's focus on me, myself. So are you able to see, Mishi, what is that belief that you are carrying for her? Which is not letting you talk to her, which is not letting you make that initiative. Are you able to see that, Mishi? Just to share with you, I've shared in the book also this instance and a lot of my videos. I was not talking to my sister-in-law, my husband's elder brother, his wife. The only sister-in-law that I have for almost 10 years. 10 years of my life, I did not speak with her. She will not respond to me. Lovely. I was not talking to my sister-in-law, telling you very quickly what happened. For 10 years, everybody in the family tried for us to patch up, to talk. I had this huge belief she's been unfair to me. She behaved with me in this manner. I have been right. How can she do this to me? And I was holding that upset within, right? 10 years, I didn't talk. And one day, I was working with my coach. He made me pick up the phone, call her up. I just had this vague thought, that maybe I can talk to her or something. He just said, pick up the phone, talk to her. I said, I've not even thought. What will I say? She's not prepared. What will I say? He said, I don't care. You just pick up the phone and talk. And I picked up the phone. She was there on the other side. I don't know what I had to say. And you know what were the first words that came out of my mouth? I am sorry. The first sentence, I don't know why. Last thing I could have imagined, me saying sorry, because I was holding her responsible. Sorry, Bhabhi. And then I thought, whenever we are going to talk, it will be like, you did this, he did this is how I did. There'll be a lot of clarification that will be needed. And, we need to just settle the score and everything. Nothing done. I said, I'm sorry. And I had tears in my eyes. And I said, I want this relationship to be just the way I have my relationship with my sister Pooja. She knows, of course, my sister. So I said, the way I am with Pooja, I want my relationship with you to be exactly the same. No barriers, nothing. And she said, you know what she said? Mishi, this is for you. I was thinking that when I will, if I call her, I take that step, she is going to feel, oh, look at her. She has called. She's going to feel one up. She's going to kind of win. It was all in my head. What did she say? She said, there cannot be anything better than this, Aastha. I would love to have that relationship with you. And and it takes a lot of courage to pick up the phone and call first. So, in her own way, she said, this is amazing. What you've done takes a lot of courage. And I was in tears. And later when I thought about it, that sorry that I said, I'm sorry, I was wondering, why did I say sorry? It was a sorry to myself, to my inner self. Because I had carrying that grudge, I was hurting myself. And all those 10 years, I had hurt myself carrying that baggage there. And I think that sorry was to myself. For, the moment I said that, the moment everything was fine. Today, our relationship is like this. She treats me like her younger sister, pampers me like anything. We enjoy. And you know who's the happiest? My mother-in-law. She had 2 daughter-in-laws. She wanted nothing else. She wanted both of us to be together. So all I'm saying is sometimes we keep cooking up those stories basis our beliefs here. The other person only wants love, happiness at the core, just like you, what you want. So if you're thinking she will not respond to you, what do you want? What do you want, Mishi? In this area, what do you really want? The result, the outcome. Wow, thank you so much. Glad to hear that. You'll call her tomorrow positively and you'll let me know. Great. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And I'm telling you, and end this miscommunication between us. Super. Super. Life is so short. As I'm talking to you, I think in the yesterday's Instagram live, I was sharing with all of you, and I was talking about how last 10 days I've been a little low, and for no reason I've been feeling, low, but I've just been at it. I've been just going around doing things, and I've not quit. Like, I've just given that space to myself. It's okay. I'm not able to figure out, let it be. And today when I'm talking to you, because of your sharing, because of this whole conversation that we've had, I suddenly feel, what am I doing? Do I want to waste even one day in that feeling low? This is how I'm feeling today. Fear, despair. No, absolutely not. And that's the power. It's not what you are getting from me, but so much that I get from you. So Mishi, my heartfelt gratitude to you for bringing this up. I shared it and it just gave me a lot of insight here. It's completely turned around my state of mind. And I owe this one to you, Mishi. Thank you so much. So I'm really looking forward, have that conversation. And before the conversation, just clear your mind, set the context. What do you really want from the call? And I'm telling you, whatever you set the context, right? Where are you coming from? What is it that how much do you value that relation with this friend of yours? Trust me, you're going to have the desired outcome. Just pour your heart out. Don't pretend, don't be anybody, just be Mishi. Just be yourself. My pleasure, my pleasure. And if there's any way you take an action and you're benefited, I think that's fulfillment for me. So I really want you to do this. Thank you so much for that. Great. So I think with that, I hope all of you, those of you who are live here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, you got some value out of this session. and would love to hear from you, because it's only the feedback which lets me know how much of value did you get. Also share with me what was your one takeaway in terms of action, not just in terms of gyan knowledge, because that is more than enough available everywhere. You don't need me for that. But what is that one actionable access that you've gotten out of the conversation we did today? And I would love to hear from you. And any way that I can support you, please write to me, write in the chat box right here. Even if you're watching this recording later, please do write into me. And yes, this is the book, Survive or Thrive. It's available on Amazon. It's there on my website. Go ahead, order this if you haven't done it already, and would love to hear from you. Get your reviews, because the whole effort here has been to talk about how it is a choice that you've got to make to survive or thrive, right? We are all surviving, but it's a choice, and there's no harm in surviving. I mean, life will still go on, but it's a choice that you've got to make. And if you make that choice that no, I'm not only going to survive, I'm going to thrive, which is living to my highest potential, expressing myself to my highest potential, living the life that I wanted, that I desire, creating the results that I desire. Each day is like a celebration. I'm growing, I'm nourishing myself, nurturing myself. If that's the kind of life I want, that's thriving. That's what thriving is all about. Then this is the book for you. Yeah. So go ahead, order this, let me know your reviews, and I'm going to see you next Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Work on workplace relations with Aastha. And yes, we talk about workplace relationships, but everything, workplace relations also starts with, you want amazing relations there? It all boils down to your relationship with yourself. And that's what we spoke about today. So every session, live session that I'm doing in the Survive or Thrive series is focusing on, where I'm picking up stuff from this, it is focusing on self-leadership. It's focusing on your relationship with yourself. How do you strengthen that relationship with yourself? That's what it is all about. And trust me, the better the relationship, your relationship with you, the better it gets, the more, the stronger it gets, you will see the impact on your relationships outside. That's a promise to you. You will see those, the differences. Yeah. So great. Have an action-packed week ahead. Enjoy a lot, and looking forward to seeing you during the week also. Go ahead, subscribe to my YouTube channel. There is fresh content published there every day. So I hope you find their value there. If you find value, then subscribe, because enough of stuff we have to subscribe. Only subscribe if you think you're getting value there. And Mishi, looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you once again. Thank you for everybody who's joined, who's still live with me. I can't see who's live, but those of you who are still live, thank you so much. And take care. Bye-bye. Lots of love, lots of happiness to you. Bye-bye.